Welcome back to SA Sports Show. I'm here at Air Diffusion, one of the major sponsors of SA Sports, and also the Southern League. And speaking of the Southern League, I'm here with Craig. Welcome, Craig.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Another year ahead. After a pretty exciting, I'll jump in a little bit, pretty exciting 2017 final series. Great win again by Flagstaff Hill.
Yeah, very much so.
Bit of controversy though. I want to throw that at you straight away with Port Noarlunga.
Yeah, as you know, there was a situation where they played an unqualified player. Be that as it may, the situation was there. We had to act on it. So unfortunate for Port Noarlunga, but the good part about that is, in speaking to them already this year, they haven't lost any players as a result of that, and they're looking forward to 2018.
Shows the strength of the club, but also the league. I think that's really important.
Well, the rules are there. You can't, if you break the rules, you got to suffer the consequences, and that's how it panned out.
Off-field, a little bit of movement as well, with a couple of sides, I think, moving into the amateur league.
Yeah, we finally got down to a situation where we've got 9 clubs in our senior competition. Hackham are still with us, of course, but only in C grade. OSB have left half of their teams with us, the women's side of it, and also their juniors stay with the Southern Footy League, but their senior men have gone to Amateur League. And of course, Marion, who had their juniors in the Sandford Juniors, which play on Sunday, and we're a Saturday competition. So it was inevitable that they would eventually follow the lead of Brighton and Morphy Parks in that scenario, with their juniors playing on Sundays rather than Saturday.
And obviously for the league, great grand final last year. It was probably a fairy tale ending to, I suppose, to 2 clubs who dominated all year.
Yes, and they'll be the benchmark going forward to the end of this season. Flagstaff Hill winning back-to-back. It's hard enough to go back-to-back.
Exactly.
Is there a chance of a three-peat? Yeah, well, certainly there is, but when you look at the stability of the clubs now, one of the good things that with this teams leaving, etc., we've been now able to consolidate where on our Saturdays, every side of the 9 has what we call a full deck. So 13s, 15s, 17 halves, Bs and As. So
fantastic.
You get a whole grade, a whole day of footy at suburban grounds in the Southern Footy League. And of course, we're looking for big improvements in our other sides as well. Aldinga will still be around the mark. Ranella are up and about again. Flagstaff Hill have got a new coach. Cove have got a new coach. And of course, you have a long, almost emperor status down there with when you coached them in 2008 to that premiership.
No statue though, but
no. That's coming, I'm
is that right? On that, 10 years since Cove won their first Division 1 flag. Great for Barry Ramsey, Hall of Fame last year. That was fantastic. I think he had 5 members inducted to the Hall of Fame, which is brilliant.
And again, that's a concept that we're now into our 10th year with, and there'll be we get to nominate up to 5 every year. I won't let the cat out of the bag, but there are certainly some worthy recipients that are going to be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame as well.
Yep. Aldinga, not a bad year last year, but they work hard to stay in, don't they? And probably last year was one of their best results, and obviously the area growing. Look at some of their junior sides. I think that's really important.
It is, and they're an initial member of our club, going back to 1886. Yeah. So they've got a long history. There was quite a period in the mid-40s where they didn't have sides, but again, they're up and about now. I'm led to believe that within 18 months there'll be a new high school built there. That's always been a problem. Yeah. That all the kids in the Aldinga area, the nearest high school is Wollonga, and that's right across the road from the Wollonga Footy Club. So there's been that period where, why are you playing for Aldinga when it's across the road here? So it's going to be good for the Aldinga Footy Club. And again, they're up and about, as I say. Got all the junior sides. They've picked up at least 4 players that I know of that will strengthen that combination. And the good part about it is they've now got a coach that's been there for 3 years, and he's got another 2 years after this one as well. So Damien Smith's doing a great job down there at Aldinga.
Huge part of our game now is the girls and women, which is probably the the balance for your job is very, very important. Going well?
It is. We started with a pilot program last year. This year we're up to 6 of our 9 teams will have senior women.
Wow.
We've also got an under 16 competition and an under 14 competition. So when you throw that in, that alongside the work that we're doing with South Adelaide with their women's program, because they got a SANFL women's licence this year, it's going to be very, very good. And of course, 2 of our clubs are already, or 3 of our clubs are already established in the SAW form. But I would think once we actually nail down our program over the next couple of years, they may drift back to us. And I'm talking about Aldinga, Happy Valley and Christie's.
Fantastic. Start of the year, a couple of weeks away, 14th. Pretty exciting. I don't know if you've had any to do with the program, but how tough's that first round? Well, that is a cracker.
We're looking for the whole of the season. When you look at the way things are panning out, it's going to be very, very good. Of course, in the second week, you've got to get through the first week.
Oh, I know.
But the second week, we've got our Anzac Day round, and there's a really big project we're working with the RSL that we'll talk about in later shows. We've instigated a program called Diggers Day. We're in conjunction with the RSL, and there'll be more about that in future shows.
Long necks only at the ground for those ones?
Well, back in the day, yeah.
It would have been. Craig, thank you very much again, and well done for what you've done so far, and what exciting year for the Southern Footy League.
Yeah,
Thanks
looking
very
forward
much.
to it. Well done.
Thank you. And welcome back to SA Sports Show, and of course in very good hands while I feels away with my partner in crime, Kimmy Costa. We're not doing a bad job so far.
No, you're looking very, very fit, mate. What have you been doing?
Plenty of work, you know that. But we've got some very, very special guests from Jumping SA. We've got Liam and Aimee McMaugh. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having us, guys.
Now, you've got a big week coming up in a few weeks' time with Jumping SA, a big event.
Yeah, so we've got our state jumping championships coming up on the 6th to 8th of April at the Wayville Showgrounds. So it's the premier jumping event in South Australia, attracting riders from interstate. So it's really exciting.
Looking forward to it, Liam. You're on the senior section, but you're in the junior riding aspect of it.
Yeah, so there's junior, young rider and senior. Junior is 12 to 18 years. Young rider is 16 from 20 to 21, but mainly just 18 to 21. So that's me. And then seniors is anybody outside of that, unless you don't have a horse to compete in that level of event. So you can also compete in senior as well.
Now, talk about competing. I've been reading some of your achievements, both from outstanding. Most of it's been with the opposition, Victoria. Now you're donning the new Guernsey on, which is going to be pretty exciting. So something special.
Yeah, I've recently transferred, in early December. So I've been sort of waiting to do that until I moved over for uni over here in Adelaide. So I'm living over here now. And yeah, representing South Australia and the young rider teams.
I've been actually looking at your bios as well, and you're a couple of smarty pants. Must be something going on in your family, like your mum was a star, but you're both highly intelligent, doing uni and laws and what else is it? Engineering. So can you give us a little briefing on that?
I wouldn't go that far, just try. But yeah, Mum sort of always instilled in us, not everything's going to be horse related. That's our main hobby sort of thing. But it's not necessarily going to take you to a long life career sort of thing. It doesn't necessarily last. It's like similar to football and that. You have to do something else as well. It's not just you can't play football all your life. So yeah, we've been instilled to go on and get that good education.
Fantastic.
And that sort of stuff.
Now, you're in your seniors now. I know you've been riding since you're about 3 or 4. How important is this event for you, for your future?
So for me, it's quite important. This year, I've taken on the role of Vice Chair of Jumping SAs. So I've been heavily involved in the organisation of the event, and it's really good to be able to compete there as well. So I'll be competing. My main focus at the event is the state speed titles. So I've got a horse at the moment that loves a good speed class.
So you don't have to just worry about jumping you've also got the speed aspect as well.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's it's against the clock, and if you have a rail down, it's 4 seconds added to your time, which is quite costly. That's about 4 horses' strides that you're adding. So it's important to jump clean, but also to make sure you're doing the tight lines and cutting out distances where you can, and it really tests both the horse and your partnership and the agility aspect of it as well.
For someone who doesn't really understand too much about horse jumping and so forth, when you say speed and jumps, what's the difference? So jumping is just take your time, clear everything, or?
So the way most classes are run is you'll have a first round of competition where your aim in that part of the class is to jump clean. So it's quite technical, so you've got to take into that aspect as well. But then you have clean rounds, or a percentage of the horses are invited back for a second round, which is against the clock. So you've got to try and jump clean and fast. In ordinary classes, it's 4 penalties added per rail. So and the winner of the class is the person with the least penalties, ideally 0, and the fastest time.
And now that you're actually stepped up and on the board or on the commissions, any biased?
No, that's one of the things that I love.
Not like showing.
That's one of the things that I love about show jumping is that it's such a level playing field once you get into the ring. You could have the most expensive, best horse in the class, absolute favourite to win it, and at the end of the day, you've got to go out there and you've got to perform, and you could be on a horse that is new at that level, but it could come out and jump the round of its life and win the class. So it's really equal playing field.
And Liam, you just started that pony club and just ventured into show jumping. I mean, there's 3-day events, of course. There's so many different avenues you can go. But just love your show jumping.
Well, Mum was the show jumper, so she sort of,
the only way you could go.
led us to it, it was the family thing to do. I didn't do pony club for that long. I got sick of it. I went and played Auskick and that sort of stuff. So, but it was always show jumping for me, sort of thing.
And what about the next level for you? I mean, obviously your horses will take you so far, and then now you are in the seniors. I mean, you're looking at world championships and hopefully even the Olympics.
I think it's one of those things that everyone's got the goal to represent the country, and that's you are trying to work towards that level. But it does depend on the horse that you've got at the time. I'm lucky enough that the horse that I've got now, she's really stepping up and is working towards that Grand Prix level. So at the state champs next year, I would hope that I would be competing in the senior state title.
Well, what sort of heights are we looking at? I mean, it's we're looking at like 1.2 metre for jumps, or they 1.4 metre. What sort of height are we looking at?
So the senior classes at the state championships will start at 1.40 metre. So they're big fences.
They'll start at 1.40 metre.
They're wider than 1.40 metre as well.
And the main senior state title event will be 1.50 metre, and it will have the best horses in SA and horses from Victoria and Western Australia in that.
Yep, so we'll get interstate competitors coming in to really.
It will be an amazing event, really showcasing the level of competition we have here.
Talking before about obviously the way you go about it, different sports, you either play with a mate or you play with a team. You're actually playing with an animal that you really probably don't know, or you can't get into its brain too much. How much influence do you have on that, and can that actually hurt you if the horse doesn't want to listen?
Well, you can never make a horse do anything it doesn't want to do.
And bigger than you, aren't they?
Yeah, they're bigger, they're stronger. Like, you're never going to make them do something they don't want to do. So it's really important. These animals, like my horse, she loves competing and she loves her job, and she loves every aspect of it. So if she said no, like, I'm not going to stand a chance against her. But it's that partnership, you know them so well, so that makes such a difference.
Yeah. Well, all the very best on the 6th to the 8th of April at the Wavell Showgrounds is our state show jumping championships. Good luck to you both. Thank you so much for coming in and letting us know a little bit more about show jumping.
And members of the public are welcome to come in. It's a free event, so come in and have a look and see what it's all about.
Yeah. Okay, thanks very much. We'll be back shortly.